Do you think they play Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory around Christmas time because it snows? Well, I guess it was Charlie's birthday that he gets the candy from.
Yeah, because there's no actual Christmas scene in the movie, is there?
Not in the original, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think there is in the remake either.
Just the added bit of dentistry.
Yeah, and that talked about Halloween.
Yeah. This is Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. That's Wonka Wash.
Wonka Wash.
Spelled backwards.
There's so much. Okay, so this is like a movie that I've seen I don't know how many times when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And every time I watch it, I notice something different.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that about a lot of movies that I watched as a kid, you know, because they throw jokes in there for the grown-ups.
I'm that way when I watch Star Trek again. I mean, even this playthrough of DS9, I'm like...
I remember that little nuance.
Right, I'm gaining new insight into things.
That's why I like to call them nuggets.
I like this comfy sitting while we record. I'm sorry. My setup at home is so fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah, because you're on a couch and I'm in a recliner. Got a cat at my feet, keeping my feet warm. You got a little chihuahua over there. Come on.
Mike TV is about to get taken out.
Yep.
If you haven't figured it out now, we're watching the original Willy Wonka.
Yes.
Okay, don't turn your head that way because you go off camera. Damn it, D.
Waiting for this dog.
What was that King of the Hill? Bobby, what the hell?
Bobby, what the hell?
What the hell, Bobby? There was one night where I, you know how when you get on the internet and it kind of devolves into why the hell am I looking up what I'm looking up? Mm-hmm. So I was watching all these King of the Hill clips, which then went into all these King of the Hill conspiracy theories.
Oh my god.
It was funny.
King of the Hill, like, share one.
I don't remember.
I read like 15 different conspiracy theories about Family Guy. And some of them were like, some of them were weird. Some of them were plausible, but some of them were strange.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, welcome back. We are ourselves again and no one else.
We are back to 2. 2 is such a lonely number.
Bella.
What is she doing?
This dog is over here digging my clothes that I've just folded and making a bed out of it. Freaking chihuahua. She's cute though. So we are 2 again.
And then there were 2.
And then there were 2.
So, we hope that y'all enjoyed us having guests on the show last time. We got about 3 videos posted from that. 4 videos.
What a few.
Wake up, D.
I'm here.
But anyway, yeah, that was something we were trying out. We have not been filming every week like we did for the first 10 episodes.
Oh, out. Stinky. Out.
Belle, Piper, Stinky, Peppy,
I told Stinky to go
Abigail,
out.
Sachi, and what's the last cat's name?
Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Look at her, she's coming back for more.
Bells. We're trying to record an episode of Hiptrek. WTH. WTF.
Come here, Belle. Just come here, Belle. Come here, Belle.
Why can't she sit with me? Why
Well, she can, but
Oh, her ass is in my face.
Hey, Belle. Wait a Belle. Stop. So we're back. We've watched an episode of the animated series.
Yes, we did. We watched the animated series season 1, episode 11.
We were a little behind.
Oh, look, my face lit up when I turned my phone on.
Of course.
Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to be discreet.
So, I thought you maybe were going to pull up what it was called.
I am, but I was distracted by the brightness.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so tonight we watched Star Trek the Animated Series episode number 11.
And
Season 1.
And it was called
The Territon Incident.
Well, it sounds like a pretty intimidating name.
Well, you know, they encountered this world that was it was an M-class planet, and everything they could see on it was crystalline structures. I think they said the mantle and the core were entirely crystal. So anyway, basically they are staying a safe distance away from it. A pulse from the planet started going on their ship. What?
I'm laughing at the episode of what happened.
Oh, okay. So this pulse started passing over the ship, and they realized that they were being scanned.
They weren't flat. That was the Orville. They got small.
That's why I'm getting confused.
Yeah, the Orville episode, they got flattened, and the Star Trek episode,
They got small.
shrunk.
Okay, so it all
Honey, I
started.
shrunk the ship.
So, like, Captain Kirk asked Spock if he was getting smaller. And he was like, well, Captain, I was just about to ask you the same thing. And they were, like, shrinking. The controls were getting bigger. So they calculated to see how much time they had before the ship would be inoperable to them as tiny humans.
Right.
So they were on this timetable, and so Kirk beams down to the planet to try, you know, last-ditch effort. So when the transporter sends him down, he's his normal size again. He's not tiny anymore. So he ends up finding this tiny city. So they end up, like, getting off the planet and taking the tiny city with them because it was about to be destroyed.
Yeah, and though they ended up giving them dilithium that had been destroyed when they scanned them, because what they said was they used their defense tactics.
Right.
That's the only way they knew how to communicate with them,
Right.
to get, like, basically get their attention. And they had taken the bridge crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they beamed them aboard, and it was like,
On the transporter pad, it was this little bitty city. Little bitty.
and they took them, you know, they found them a new planet, and
Yeah.
so the tiny city traveled on the Enterprise for 10 days.
Just like, hey, let's just pick up an entire city and take it with us.
Yep.
But what it really reminded me of was Gulliver's Travels. Did you ever read that
No, I saw the movie, but
movie? It was a movie?
there's a couple of movies, yeah.
Like what time period?
When did they come out, or
Yeah. Was it animated, live action?
both? John Goodman was in one.
Really?
Yeah, he's the one that got tied down.
So he was Gulliver.
I guess so. I don't know.
Interesting. But yeah, it did remind me of Gulliver's Travels and the fact that a tiny city was able to basically just about nearly cripple the Enterprise.
Yeah.
That's like serious stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, it would have, you know, because
I know. Yeah, because they were going to shrink down to what they say, 1/16 of an inch.
yeah, but you know, if they'd had an android on board, they don't have molecular structure like that.
Right.
So Data, presumably, could have
This
run
is
the
true.
ship.
And then it was kind of interesting because on the flip side of everything, we watched the Orville tonight that aired tonight, and it talked about them going into two-dimensional space and becoming flat.
Yeah.
So we saw the Enterprise where they got tiny, and then the Orville where they got flat.
And Bortus ate a piece of Yaphet. That was funny as hell.
It was so funny. And then I liked how Bortus and Yaphet were in the sick bay. And the doctor's like, y'all need to get out of here. This is enough weirdness for one day. And I'm like, dude, you just had sex with Yaphet. How is this weirder than that? Except she enjoyed that.
She did.
Didn't enjoy the watching of the, let me put my gelatinous substance down your throat and get the piece of you
Yeah.
that's in your digestive tract.
Right.
But it was funny because you made a point. Bortus can eat anything and not get sick, but he gets a piece of Yaphet and he's all of a sudden sick.
Right? Like, what is that dude made of?
Right.
And is it gonna give the doctor a bad yeast infection?
Oh!
Well, I mean, if he's going, like, she's being basically engulfed by him. In every orifice that she's got.
Look at this.
It's lubricated on the inside and the outside. Oh God, let's go get another box. Well,
Okay, so the camera died. There was a massive hunt for an extension cord. Lots of barking dogs involved. And here we are. Still standing.
yes, my brother was nice enough to loan us one of his extension cords.
Am I gonna get it back?
No.
No, I'm taking it with me. But this makes me realize I need to travel with one now.
Yeah.
I need to put it in the kit.
So, we were talking about the Orville.
We were talking about Bordas, I feel like. I was making some witty remark about Bordas, and if it didn't catch it before the camera shut off, I'm gonna be pissed.
It's lost. All is lost.
It's out there in the void.
I have to say, though, I've been geek light here lately. Although I watched an episode of Voyager today. But I've been watching Christmas movies like crazy. I mean, that's all I've been really watching is Christmas movies.
So, what are some notable ones that you've watched?
Well, I watched Home Alone, Four Christmases. I've watched the very first one I watched, which I've been doing for the last few years, like on Thanksgiving Day, watching White Christmas. I've actually watched White Christmas twice.
Love that movie.
Christmas
Have you
in
seen?
Connecticut.
I was about to ask you if you'd seen that.
Yeah.
That's on Amazon this year, isn't it?
It is. And I've also seen The Bells of St. Mary.
Okay, haven't seen that in years.
I love that one. And then, what else? I'm waiting on It Happened on Fifth Avenue, which is a really old black and white one. Mm-hmm. And I'm also waiting on The Bishop's Wife.
And do you ever watch Miracle on 34th Street?
I do, yeah. The original is on Amazon.
Ooh, I need to check that out.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah,
I was about to ask you, are you singing about Dinah?
strumming on the old banjo.
Who knows Dinah? Who's in the kitchen with Dinah?
Somebody is. So, I haven't, my very favorite Christmas movie, though, is A Christmas Story, which I haven't watched it yet.
Is that like with the BB gun and the kid getting his tongue stuck?
Yeah.
I've never watched that movie.
Oh, I love it.
I don't know why I've never watched it. I just never have.
Do you have a favorite?
Oh, White Christmas.
It's your very favorite Christmas movie?
Yeah. By a stretch, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like It's a Wonderful Life. I like Miracle on 34th Street. I like Christmas in Connecticut, but White Christmas. Well, and it also brings to mind, because, every day we've got somebody that's accused of some kind of sexual misconduct. Mm-hmm. And, it just makes me wonder about the actors of past and what kind of stuff they may have gotten away with.
Oh, yeah, certainly because the dynamic between men and women were different.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Still, I mean, probably the women were obviously paid less than the men, but the gap was probably a lot bigger than it is now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it was such
there
a
were just
different
different.
time.
Yeah, there were different rules for men and women.
Yeah.
There was a movie that I really love with Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy.
Right.
Called Adam's Rib. And this woman, she suspects her husband cheating on her. She follows him. And she buys this little gun that's no bigger than this. Well, she sees them cuddling or whatever when she follows him to her apartment. And she closes her eyes and just kind of does this, just to kind of scare him, And basically, throughout the movie, Katharine Hepburn is trying to prove that she was taken to trial because she was a woman. And if a man, there was no fault put on him for going somewhere else. Or, and he even admitted that he hit her to keep her in her place. And,
Right.
there's different rules.
Yeah. I like watching old movies like that, but sometimes when it's really noticeable like that in the movies, it's really hard for me to watch. The
Yeah.
whole man is above the woman.
Oh, yeah. But see, the thing about Adam's Rib is that movie just proved that, humans are humans. No matter. But we digress.
I know, right? We spiraled. What is this? What did we call it again? Hiptrek? In a few weeks, we're going to have another roundtable with some of our friends about the entire first season of the Orville. Mm-hmm. But what were your thoughts on tonight's episode?
I liked it. I liked the fact that Kelly pushed John to kind of, well, for lack of a better term, live up to his potential. You know, but he revealed to the captain that he downplayed his mental smart abilities. So John, anyway, he was brought up and grew up in a place where if he showed how his intelligence, you know,
Right.
he was judged and seen as snooty or snobby or above everyone else.
Right. He said that they considered him to be an egghead.
Yeah. And he just wanted to fit in. And
Well, I think he's going to make a great head of engineering. I'm going to miss seeing him up at the helm, naturally.
yeah.
But I feel like that they're creating a special friendship between Gordon and Isaac.
Yeah.
Isaac walked over and just like petting his arm. Are we bonding?
So you realize that Geordie LaForge was also at the helm and promoted to chief engineer.
Oh, he's marrying TNG again.
And, you know, maybe Data and Lamar will be buddies before long. Like, Data and...
Yeah, because he did work with him a lot on that project in this episode. I like Isaac. He's really grown on I like Isaac. He's growing on to me.
He is, and he seems to be, obviously, he spends time outside of his work with the doctor's kids.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I love that episode when they were with him.
Yeah.
That was very interesting to me.
There's Ruckus behind us. There's so many animals here.
Ruckus afoot.
There's a kitten back there going through some boxes, having a good old time. There's
Barking outside.
barking outside. I got 2 animals in my lap.
I hear that heater going on over there. We're so distracted all the time.
Speaking of not your taste, if you have a problem with Discovery, I don't understand the mentality. Where has the Star Trek acceptance and tolerance gone
Well,
for the masses?
I've learned this week that life is about accepting other people's opinions, even though they completely out of line with your own opinions.
Right, I get that. Opinions are like noses. Everybody's got one but Michael Jackson. I've been saying that joke, oh my god, forever.
I was about to say, for how many years?
Well, it was funnier when Michael Jackson was alive. Especially right after that concert where his nose like fell off on stage. That's when I started telling that joke.
I don't.
Opinions are like noses. Everyone's got one but Michael Jackson.
But no, I have spent some time this week online chatting with various other Star Trek fans who aren't fans of Discovery. And I feel like that it's so easy to just immediately be like, well, I don't believe that way. I don't believe that way. And you're just going back and forth. And everybody just keeps stating their opinions.
To no avail.
Right. It's like an impasse. It's like, I know
standoff.
I'm not going to change your mind, and you sure as hell aren't going to change my mind.
Yeah, you know, agree to disagree and enjoy and talk about the Star Treks that everybody does like and, you know, and have in common and,
Right.
you know. Because, you know, Star Trek isn't just the books. I mean, Star Trek isn't just the shows. you know, in the movies. There's the books, there's the comics, you know, and they're all mostly connected.
Yeah. Well, I guess just the easiest way for me to explain it is I know a lot of people are sticklers for stories staying on canon. I get that. I understand that. Like, I feel like that if they brought Firefly back and completely changed things up in it, I'd be pissed. But for me, Star Trek is more of this kind of fluid thing, to where no matter what perspective is being told from, no matter who the characters are, no matter what they look like, as long as the heart of the story is there and the emotion touches my heart, I feel like I'm going to be a fan of it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, I don't know. I usually change is not something, especially in a series, you know,
Yeah.
is not usually welcome. But it's its own animal, and I think that's. Do you know what I mean? Like if they had this type of these uniforms, this format, this everything, and tried to tack it on the end of Voyager, it would be too fantastical to even believe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Okay. So I was online today, and there was this person looking for information on anyone who makes and sells the Starfleet badges. They're trying to find it for a cosplay. And some people that have 3D printers, they can make those things, and for people to use. So when you're scrolling through Facebook, you know how you're scrolling through and it's got like the person's question, and then it just shows one comment. It may not be the first comment, it may not be the second comment, it may not be the last comment, but it just shows a comment. And so I'm scrolling through, and the comment is like, so did they ever explain why they're using the insignia for Enterprise on these Discovery badges? And I'm like, what does it even matter? Like, does it even matter?
Why would it?
I guess maybe saying that the style of them were from copying Next Generation, but Next Generation is so many years in the future.
But you're right. I mean, what does it matter? Like, just, that's, I wasn't trying to open up a debate about the badge.
Right.
I'm just looking for somebody to make one. Or to,
Right, they wanted a replica of the badge that she wears in Discovery. And so someone comes on there and is like, did they ever explain why they're using the Enterprise? So that just goes to show that's a fan that has chosen not to pay CBS All Access, has chosen not to watch Discovery. So why are you going to get here and ask questions about a show that you're not even watching?
Trolls. They feed off the niceness of others. The niceness and the goodwill of others.
But when I was on Thanksgiving vacation, we were out of town visiting my in-laws, and I went to a couple of estate sales with my mother-in-law, and I bought a paperback novel for 25 cents.
Oh, wow.
And it's something about something in Memphis, so that's the only reason I bought it.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, and then when I got into the car and was reading like the back flap, it's like some kind of steamy romance novel, so that should be fun when I get to those parts.
Oh my gosh. Doing it in Harbor Town.
I don't know.
Banging on the bridge.
It'll be interesting. I've been in the Memphis area for about 10 years now, so reading a book about it should be fun.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's going to be, geography heavy.
I would hope so. I haven't started it yet, but that's next on my list.
Well, if it's a romantic novel, I imagine.
Oh yeah, I'll get through it pretty quick.
Clothes tearing and all that stuff will be more center than the geography of Memphis.
Yeah. Hopefully there's lots of descriptive phrases that makes me want to cringe. That's usually the sign of a good romance novel, especially when the jacket says it's steamy.
Oh, yeah.
Like when a book claims to be steamy, there's going to be some cringy scenes in there.
Yeah, because you'll probably run across some engorged,
Heaving,
supple.
rigid.
climactical.
Climactical is that a word?
I don't know if that's a word, but I made it up. Orgasmic. That's a given, though.
What was that word on the Orville tonight? Mouthgasm? I've never quite heard that word.
Mouthgasm?
You know the creepy guy from the elevator?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and he was talking about the gumdrops?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gave him a mouthgasm.
Oh, God.
Have you been reading anything lately?
Yeah, I've been reading that book, Life's Too Effing Short.
Oh yeah, who wrote that?
Janet Street Porter, My Spirit Animal.
Why is she, explain.
Why is she my spirit animal? Because, like, I want to have her ambition and her the value that she places on herself. Like, you know how some people will take criticism and it'll get them down.
Right.
Well, she's one of these people who are fueled by the people who hate her. So the more people who hate her, the more successful she became.
Who is this person we're talking about?
Janet Street Porter. She was like the first woman to be like a big head boss at the BBC.
Okay.
She was mostly a columnist. Edited a newspaper. I think she still does on Sundays. It's a newspaper. Of course, she's on Loose Women, you know.
Okay.
I love the British people.
Okay, so which one is Janet?
Janet is a redhead. The book's in the car. I should have brought it in, but...
I think I know who you're talking about.
She's like 73 or 74.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, so Janet Street Porter is my street animal. My spirit animal. Another reason, because like her attitude towards like relationships and stuff is very male.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that makes sense.
And that's kind of how I am too. You know, not the. Oh God, that makes me want to gag. Oh my God. And she calls herself a serial monogamist. She doesn't have more than one person at a time, but she's always got somebody ready for when she's ready. A back burner man.
All right then.
And a pilot light man. She got two on the weights.
There's a waiting list.
Mm-hmm. So, but I've not been doing much nerding around. I've not really been on social media.
Yeah, it's been kind of a weird few weeks for us, but you know, life happens and we both have full-time jobs and we both have things that go on with our lives. I have a kid who's going to be 3 next month.
I have a mother in the hospital who was in the hospital for 20 days, came home for 2, and was admitted back into the hospital.
Yeah. So, you know, life happens. Life sucks a lot. But we've still been trying to stay active on Instagram, so we hope that we have still been entertaining you guys. I like to think that we do, a little bit.
Yeah, it's been mostly Kara. I don't think I've actually posted anything in a long time, actually, for a while. But I'm going to get on the ball. Do something.
Yeah, so tonight was just, you know, real quick, real short, really informal. We're in our comfy chairs, thanks to the beautiful tripod that I have now.
Yes, we're not, you're very joyous about it, aren't you?
Yes, I love my
very
tripod.
Giddy.
But anyway, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. I'm sorry that we're not, you know, expansive and extensive and eloquent as we normally are.
That's saying something, because we're not really that eloquent to begin with.
Well, you know, through the power of editing, we can appear to be eloquent.
I reckon. But I bet we'll be more interesting when I have some espresso and there's 2 other people, or possibly 3 other people joining the panel.
I know, that will be fun. I can't wait. Roundtable discussions are awesome.
They are. There's more people to feed off of, and we'll be a little more prepared this time.
Alright guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Next time we're going to come back with a roundtable discussion, and we're going to talk about the first season of the Orville. We're going to stray away from Star Trek just a touch. A touch. But hey, the Orville's nerdy, so we're nerdy. Therefore,
It is, and it has so many parallels to Star Trek anyway.
it really does. Yep. Alright guys. Bye.
See ya.